Hey there fellow nerds, geeks and losers, Kieran here with another episode of Kieran's Movie Space, the podcast where I review the latest films and TV shows. And in this episode, I'm reviewing the latest original series to land on Netflix, The Umbrella Academy. In case you didn't already know, The Umbrella Academy is based on a series of massively popular comic books and was created by the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way. The series tells the story of an incredibly dysfunctional family of superheroes who reunite for their father's funeral and realise that they're the only ones that can stop an impending apocalypse. In terms of expectations, I can't say I was especially excited for this series just because I'd never really heard of it before the show was released on Netflix. Even as someone who reads a lot of comics and is in touch with that world, this isn't something that I'd heard of. I don't think I know anyone that reads the books, and somehow this show just completely slipped through my radar. Don't worry though, that didn't stop me from binging the entire first season over the weekend and getting my spoiler-free review out to you guys. As usual, I'll talk about what I liked first, then I'll move on and discuss some of the things that I didn't enjoy before giving you guys my overall thoughts and my score out of 10. So getting straight into what I liked about The Umbrella Academy Season 1, I think the best place to start is with these incredibly messed up, compelling characters. This season really lives or dies on the back of these characters. If one performance or one character just didn't work, the series as a whole would suffer, but there's not a single character, at least not in the main group, that doesn't offer something to the series overall. I found myself connecting to each of the characters for different reasons, and it's very rare for a show to deliver this many characters that are all really well developed and fleshed out. Of course, a lot of that comes down to the script and the writing, but I think most of the credit needs to be given to the actors and their incredible performances. Looking back at the entire season, there's not a performance or an actor that I can pick out as the weak link because every actor here is giving 100% and making sure that they play their character to the best of their ability. The real highlight of the show though isn't the individual performances, it's when the different personalities and characters are mashed together. Some of the best sequences in this entire season are when the siblings are all in one room together just talking things out, because that's when the actors get to play with their performances and all the characters bounce off of each other perfectly. There's a lot of shows and films being released at the minute about superhero teams, but we've never seen anything like this group of characters who all have their own issues and they really are just a dysfunctional family, and it's endlessly fun to see the different personalities clash as the show develops. One of the things that impressed me the most about The Umbrella Academy Season 1 is the style that was brought over from the source material. This is one of the most stylish and cool shows that I've seen in a really long time, and I can't remember a single second of this season that wasn't executed in the most stylish way possible, especially the action sequences which were handled perfectly. There's a ridiculous amount of action in this first season, and the incredible filmmakers behind the camera somehow found a way to make every action scene unique. Whether that's by experimenting with different camera techniques, bringing the powers in, or just using a really awesome song to give the sequence a personality of its own. And that's something that I want to talk about a little bit more because the music and the soundtrack to this season is awesome. Music is used as a tool here, much like in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and the use of music and specific tracks really helps the Umbrella Academy to find its unique tone and voice in the superhero genre. What I think most people will notice about The Umbrella Academy is the incredible sense of scale. Netflix really didn't hold back with the budget here, and looking at the series you can see that every penny was put to good use. Some of the effects in this season are almost cinematic, especially the incredible work that's gone into Pogo, the team's ape version of Alfred, who looks almost as realistic and lifelike as some of the characters in the recent Planet of the Apes trilogy. Moving on to some of the things that didn't work in The Umbrella Academy Season 1, the biggest issue for me was the amount of story that was actually being told. In this first season, we're introduced to an insane amount of characters, and each of them has their own baggage and their own story, and the series sometimes loses track of the main narrative while trying to develop some of these smaller side stories. There were certain moments where I was worried that the filmmakers were going to lose complete control of the story, but thankfully the talent in front of and behind the camera were able to keep everything in order, and somehow everything comes together flawlessly towards the end of the season. The only other issue I have with The Umbrella Academy is one that I have with a lot of Netflix shows, which is that the storytelling really hits a slump towards the middle of the season. While binging the show, I kind of reached this moment where things sort of stopped moving forward, and there was 1 or 2 episodes in there that I think could have been shorter, just to maintain the momentum from the first few episodes. This isn't a massive issue, like I said, a lot of shows do fall into that slump, especially when you're binging, and luckily they managed to get everything back on track for the second half of the season. Overall, The Umbrella Academy is a ridiculously enjoyable and insanely stylish series which manages to find its own unique place in the ever-growing superhero genre. With incredible and bizarre characters, kick-ass action, and some truly mind-blowing visuals, Netflix's latest original series is easily one of their best, and if you're looking to fill the Daredevil-sized hole in your life, this series should do the trick. To give The Umbrella Academy Season 1 a score out of 10, I'm going to give it an 8.5. For more movie and TV reviews, make sure you hit subscribe. I'm going to be reviewing the Lego Movie 2 and Instant Family later this week. But until then, thanks for checking out this review. I'll see you next time.